don't know if you guys are wondering how we prove the river, to know whether or not it's safe to drive on. Well, all of last week we had temperatures in that were just a little bit above the freezing level. So if you're a metric fan, I think we were getting about as high as plus 5 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. So I was kind of concerned that the ice was going to fail in a few spots. This is a bad spot because it's either like a log jam or a beaver dam. I can't tell. It's been busted so many times that over the years from quadders and that. So this side over here, you can see it never really freezes all that well. So usually we go towards the middle, but here somebody was, I think, cutting some trees here because there's always hanging trees like this bastard. And I don't know if this is from somebody driving through it or what, but I'm not going to go through it. I don't have a winch yet on my little machine there. So I was just trying to see what the ice is like in other spots, and sometimes with rivers what you get is something called hanging ice. And here I've got a Pulaski axe, and I was just going to see what the ice is like around here, and I want to make sure the frost can get as deep as possible. So it was a bit hollow, so I started stomping it, but I still got ice underneath here. Sorry if this is jerky video, but you can see here's real ice right here. So clean down to that, and usually when you get these dams, yeah, see, it doesn't take much to break through there. I was starting to smash the ice pretty good. Usually when you get these dams and, oh yeah, I went right through. When you get these dams and log jams, then the water speeds up trying to get past the logs and all the rubble and crap. So then the ice never really freezes all that well. And eventually the river will slow down as the winter months wear on, unless there's lots of precipitation somehow, but usually that doesn't affect it. And then eventually you can drive over. But this is a special spot here. I need to bring my chainsaw out here and cut all this crap up and drag it off. But not having a winch, it makes it harder to do that. It means I got to get in danger close with the machine. So I'm not about to do that right now, not until I can afford a winch. So I'd like to actually drop this tree unless somebody does it for me, and then drag that off. And even try and cut up some of this crap right here and drag that out of there, so that at least we can make a decent bypass. I can at least shove some of those logs like Corduroy Road underneath the ice. We did that in one spot, not last weekend, the weekend before, and it worked really well. And but I don't think there's going to be much I can do here. I'm just out on my own, just going for a leisurely drive and just checking out what all that thawing weather did to our lovely river ice. You can see I can walk on it pretty easy. Like, the water here where I poked this little hole through is only a few inches deep, 3-4 inches deep. The ice is about 2 inches thick. So yeah, see, there's the hole right there. So it doesn't take much to fall through, but you're not going to drown the machine or yourself in that much amount of water. It's just, if you don't have a winch, it's hard to get any grip on the ice, even with tire studs in. So I found that out the hard way a few years ago. I dropped through a little hole, but I had a winch at the time and was able to get myself out. But this time I don't have that luxury, so it's a project I'm working on. So I actually want to make the winch so it actually is mounted on a receiver hitch plate, and then I can put it on the front or the back as I choose. So I'm gonna get a chainsaw one of these days down here and maybe try and cut some of this if I don't fall through. So you just don't want to get a booter, that's the big thing. Then you got frozen toes, and that's not fun. So I know that this is a little foobar here. My buddy with the trike, he can probably cross that much ice and not go through, and if he did go through, he just climbs right out again. Friggin' amazing what he does with that little thing. So yeah, this is one of the ways that I check for ice. Just use the Pulaski like this. And sound. You can tell if there's a hollow spot underneath. which might mean you got hanging ice or thin ice. So that tells me I got good ice. It's actually also a trick that they use in firefighting, checking the integrity of a roof. You know, make sure that you can put your foot there before you do put your foot there. So, yeah, that doesn't sound that great there. So, yeah, that's how we do it. That's one way at least. I gotta get myself a needle bar, basically like a long crowbar with a sharp and pointy end, and you can stab through the ice a little bit, at least where it's thin, and then find out how thick it is. So with me in it, that thing's probably close to 1,000 pounds, so you know, it's a little more of a risk. Whereas the old one, my quad, was like maybe 600 or 700 pounds with me in it, so not quite as heavy. And this one I need fatter tires too, bigger, fatter tires. So all these things that are on the to-do list. So anyways, that's it for today. Talk to you later.